Every day I'm rising to my inner vision.
Welcome to the Unknown Tribe, Palmaïa's channel, where we interview all the amazing people that come through the resort. I'm Alex, I'm the founder of Palmaïa, and today we will be talking to Dan. Dan's coming here as part of our Visiting Guides program. The Visiting Guides program is a supplement to our Architects of Life program, which is our health and wellness programming. And what we do is we attract beautiful people from around the world with amazing messages and people who facilitate incredible things. And we invite them in and they come and spend some time with us and they contribute to the community in beautiful ways. And Dan's been here for a few weeks now, and I'd love you all to hear his incredible journey of how he got to what he does and where he is today. So Dan, why don't you start telling us a bit about yourself, how you got into the spiritual realm of life, let's say, right? Because you started off as an actor in Hollywood, right? Which is probably the most matrix thing we could talk about, right? So how did you go from actor to spiritual facilitator? I don't know that story.
Wow. Okay. We're going big right off the bat.
Exactly.
How do we start with that? Well, I'll just say that, kind of the spiritual path, I would say I've been on maybe since the mid-90s, but it was always part of my world. It wasn't my full world. And I was in LA for a long time as an actor and doing the whole entertainment realm and then also, doing what I could in the spiritual realm. But, it was a very, let's say,
conflicting.
It was conflicting. It was conflicting for me, anyways,
Absolutely.
in a lot of ways. So finally, in 2019, I knew I needed to leave Los Angeles. The acting career was going pretty well, but I had known that I needed to leave for quite a while before that. But LA has a vortex of its own, and it would.
It does, doesn't it?
The old joke used to be like, if you want to get an audition, or you want to get a job, just plan a trip and you'll get the call. And that's what happens. And so every time I was about to leave, I got pulled back in.
Wow.
And then finally, it was 2018 actually, and I actually came down this way with a friend of mine. And we were thinking about getting some land somewhere. And we talked to a friend of ours that lives in Costa Rica. And she was like, well, the days of getting cheap land in Costa Rica are over.
Yeah.
She goes, but Nicaragua or Panama. So we said, okay, we felt good about Nicaragua. So we went to Nicaragua and we found this place called Ometepe Island, which if you haven't been to it, it's amazing. It's in the middle of Lake Nicaragua. Yeah, it's amazing. It's an isthmus, so it's two volcanoes.
Yeah.
The island, and there's indigenous that have been there for thousands of years still. And it's amazing. It's actually Lake Nicaragua, but it used to be part of the ocean where the volcanoes blew and then sealed it off.
I think I saw it on the Google Maps. It looks incredible.
Maybe we should have ventured down there together sometime.
Definitely. Let's go.
It's amazing. So it looked like we found our spot.
Yeah.
Really felt, I was like, wow, this is amazing. The indigenous, the culture down here, and it was just beautiful landscape.
Yeah.
So we went back to LA. And we were getting ready to kind of plan our next trip down there. And Nicaragua was going through a little turmoil at the time.
Yeah.
So we were waiting a little bit. And then while we were waiting to go back down, and I talk about this in the book that I've been doing the class on here, The Call of the Mystical Mountain, which we'll get into in a second.
For sure, definitely.
But as we were waiting to get down there, it was wild. My dad passed away. And then literally within 2 to 3 weeks after that, my friend, Z, I love you, brother, who was only 40 years old, he passed away of a stroke.
So many things at once, eh?
Yeah, it was one of those moments where, I knew that LA wasn't my home anymore.
Yeah.
I knew I had to move on, but now I thought everything was leading me down here and all this happened and something felt different. I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So, I did what we do, right? I went out to nature.
Yeah.
Went out to nature and I just prayed. I prayed. And,
while you were in LA still?
I was in LA, and one of my favorite places to go to is a place called Topanga Canyon.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Really amazing spiritual area in LA. Yeah. If you go there, that's one of the places to go for a respite. And I went to this place called Eagle Rock. Okay. I'm praying on the rock, and I just got the message like, okay, you are getting rid of everything.
Amazing.
You need to get rid of everything and just pack your truck and just head north to the mountains. And I go, where am I going? I said, don't ask him, you need to go with the flow. And I realized that I really needed to just trust the universe at that point in my life. Mount Shasta, which we'll talk about, was one of the places that I went, but I didn't know I was going to be staying there. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
And so how do you get enough faith to like actually execute on that? Because we all have lots of visions and ideas, and sometimes you think things come to, but then you're like, is it real? Is it not real? Like, it's happened to me many times even, right? Where you think it, you feel so real, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe I won't do that. But so how did you actually have enough like power to act on it? Because, these are profound changes to your life. And like, as you said, leaving other behind, changing their, they're not done that easily. There are many responsibilities we have which tie us to places that you've got to break all those like ties with a scissor a little bit. There's so many things to sort out before you even leave and go. People think leaving and going is just packing a bag, but it's not, right?
Right. I mean, it does take a little time.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't have some of the normal things that would, I didn't have children.
Yeah.
Right. Which is a big one.
Yeah, definitely.
And so it might have been a little easier for me than most to do it. But I think, and I was talking about this in the class that I was doing on Friday, is about the hero's journey, right?
Yep.
What is the hero's journey? It's the call to adventure.
Yeah.
Is step 2, right? That Campbell talks about. And then step 3 is refusal of the call. Because we all get the call.
Yeah.
But a lot of us, I mean, Palmaïa is an exception in the world, right? Because people get the call, they come here to this transformational place, just like Mount Shasta. But oftentimes in our life, I think we can all relate to those times where we've had the call and we felt it in the heart, but then the mind got involved. We started writing down the pros and cons of what we want to do, and we're like, I don't know.
It sounds a bit too like complicated.
The fear kicks in.
Absolutely.
And we see this operating in the collective right now, right?
Yeah.
All this chaos that's happening.
Yeah.
But I think for whatever reason, right, the way that we've been evolving in human nature, we're still in that state where when we hit this point in our lives where maybe things are looking good on the surface, maybe things are working, but we have a feeling deep in our gut and we just know it's not working anymore. Like you just know when you know. It's not kind of like, I'd like to go do that, but this is still good. It's like, you just know, like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I remember how I felt it in LA one day. It was like I was driving around the parking lot for Whole Foods like 5 times to find a parking spot again. And I was like, that's...
Oh, so a nice way to say it is that you're not ready until you're done with your own shit, right? Basically, when you get fed up of your own shit, you then take action.
Yeah.
Right? It comes to the point where you just need to do it, right?
Yeah, and I think, it'd be nice. Hopefully we're evolving to a point where we're as human beings in general, we're going to get beyond that.
Yeah.
We're going to feel into like intuitively, I know this is a better place for me to go, so I'm going to take that leap. But at least for me at that point in my life, and I think for a lot of people, it has to get to that point where it's like the gut goes, I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I got and so that's what happened, and it was the best.
And where did you go from there though, the first stops? Like, because LA, you drove north?
I drove north.
And you ended up, where?
Well, I knew I was going to just kind of go, but I was just following. I wanted to follow the signs, follow the flow. Sequoia National Park.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
What trees, eh?
It was amazing. And I got a little story about Sequoia.
Please tell us.
If you want to hear it.
Yeah.
That was like a welcoming story on this path.
Beautiful.
So I go to Sequoia National Park, and it was funny because you say, like, you can't just pack a bag and go, right? It took me a month longer to get out than I wanted to, because just getting rid of stuff and all that kind of thing, right? I get to Sequoia National Park. I remember this, it was July 5th, so the day after the big holiday, July 4th, right? And I'm so happy to be there. I can already feel this giant weight lifted from me. And I'm in Sequoia, and I'm on this big hike. You're an adventurer, and I'm out on this solo hike, and I go up to this place called Eagle Lake, which is like 10,000 feet up. And it's early July, but there's still snow that high, right? So I get up there, and I'm just super excited. I'm praying, I'm grateful. I'm like, thank you. I'm on the journey. You know what I mean? I could feel like this, just all baggage just off my back. I'm like, yes. And I'm up there. I'm super excited, but there's still a lot of snow.
Yeah.
So I start going back down the trail, right? And I start running because I'm super excited. So I'm sprinting down the trail, and before you know it, I'm like, whoa, where's the trail? Trail's gone. Trail's gone. No cell phone service, no nothing,
nice.
Right? And so I'm lost in the mountains. I'm lost. So I'm trying to find my way, and then I end up on this small animal trail.
Yeah.
I look down, and I can tell it's an animal trail. I'm not quite sure exactly what animal it is. And just as I'm looking at the animal trail, I can see in my periphery, my left periphery, that something moved, an animal moved. It moved really fast, but it was also really big.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, what was that? Now, mind you, I should preface this by the fact that before I go into nature, always, I ask permission.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say a lot of prayers. I do my best to connect and honor with the ancestors of the land, the animals, the plants, all consciousness. And that really does, I can feel the vibration shift, that they know I'm coming in honor, right? So I don't have a lot of fear when I'm out there. And I'm not saying that I'm fearless. I don't have any fears, but if I'm out there by myself, I feel like that I'm coming with respect, and that's felt.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So I look up, and about probably 30 feet from me, I'm looking right at a mountain lion looking right at me.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's exactly what I was doing. Wow, but I didn't feel any fear.
Yeah.
I felt this calm strength from this mountain lion. It wasn't like being aggressive towards me.
Yeah.
What's that?
Like a connection as well?
Totally a connection. Like I don't know if it was a male or female. I felt a brotherly connection.
Yeah.
And so I just, telepathically was doing my best to say, thank you for allowing me in your lands. I appreciate being here. And, I come in total respect. And then I actually said, I need to ask you a favor. I'm lost right now. I'm really lost. And if there's any, advice you can give me, I think I was speaking pretty human, like, any help you can give me, I'm all ears, right? And I just got the message, you're going to be fine. You're supposed to be spending time here in this energy. You're going to be fine. Just trust. I'm like, okay, thank you. So I don't know how much longer I stayed there. It seemed like forever. It's kind of like being in Palmaïa, and we were asking, how long have you been here? I don't know how long I've been here.
Exactly. Right? It's like a vortex.
It's totally a vortex. So I finally ended up saying, thank you. I'm going to be on my way. I appreciate you allowing me in your lands. And then I just started to slowly back away.
Yeah.
And he or she never moved.
Amazing.
I never felt any aggression. So then the last part of the story here is I'm still lost. Yeah. Super lost, right?
And it's quite disorienting, isn't it, when you got inside the trees and you don't know which is north almost because the sun's not going through, or you don't have any sun because it's cloudy. Yeah. People don't realize how easy it is to get actually disoriented once you just walk a mile or two, right?
Exactly. And I was. I'm not afraid to admit I was a little disoriented, but I felt this calm, as well, because I think I felt his strength with me. But anyway, so, when you're lost in the mountains, what I was doing a lot of times, I would climb up to a ridge, right? So I could see below, and then, get a bird's eye view from it and see if I could find the trail. And then you'd think you see a trail, then I climb down. Oh, not a trail. And I have to climb all the way back up, right? So I did this, I don't know, several times, right? I already, 5,000 feet up just in the initial climb. Yeah. And then up, down, up, down, up, down. And I ended up actually even having to climb over a waterfall one time. And now it's starting to get dark.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've been out there all day, but I wasn't tired at all. And I was in good shape, but I should have been really tired. I wasn't tired because I felt like that mountain lion gave me its strength. And then finally, this was the kicker, or the climax of it, I guess you would say. I hear a river. I'm like, okay, just get down to the river. You got to go straight down now to get to the river. Yeah. There's a trail by the river, right? So I go to this cliff that's about like this, not dead, 90 degrees, but it's about like that. I'm like, I'm going to have to slide down on my butt on this cliff. I'm going to have to. And it's a little wet, slippery. So I know if I catch speed, I'm going to be bumming, but I'm just going to have to go as slow as I can. So I'm going as slow as I can, but then finally I end up picking up speed. I can't stop myself. I pick up speed. I probably slide 100 feet fast.
Yeah.
And boom, legs straight out, right into a huge stone. My leg should have broken.
Yeah.
Or at least sprained an ankle or something. I was fine.
The perfect landing.
I was fine. And that wasn't because of me. I know in my heart that was because I was protected in those lands. Yeah. And I could feel it when I finally got back to my tent, which was like 1 a.m.
Wow. Oh, so you actually walked a long time in the darkness as well then?
When I got down, I still had 5 miles to go on the trail. Yeah. So it was probably 25 miles that day with maybe 10,000 feet elevation gain. I never got tired.
Yeah. Wow.
So how do you explain that? Because Mother Nature was with me.
The right frequencies of vibrations were with you that day for sure.
So I'm sorry. I know before we started, I said I wouldn't rant, and then here I go right away.
It's good, man. We love it. Give us more of the rants. So from that adventure then, you packed your tent, and where did you go?
So from there, from Sequoia, I ended up going to Idaho and then the Grand Tetons.
Okay, so you went further up,
Yeah.
So that's further east, right?
Yeah, I went east because I think something was
you went east quite a far away then.
Oh, yeah, I went all the way back. I ended up going all the way back to Wisconsin to see my family for a couple days for my aunt's 80th birthday.
Okay.
I wanted to surprise her. And then I came back out through the Black Hills, Montana.
Yeah.
And I think it's now looking back on it, I feel like, and we can go into this too if you want, I feel like it was that I really needed that time, which ended up being about 3.5 months.
Yeah.
Before I got to Mount Shasta.
Yeah.
For my frequency to be aligned enough with the mountain.
Makes sense.
And for me to be able to connect with the mountain in a good way.
The density in LA can't be easy to shake off, right?
I needed a journey.
Yeah.
I needed a journey. It wasn't time for me just to go somewhere and then I'm
Makes
there.
Sense.
Yeah, So, and it was one of the best times, if not the best time of my life.
Always
the freedom
is, right?
that I felt.
Like in complete freedom, no?
Yeah. Just when you're complete trust,
complete
right?
freedom, yeah. Just
to the mystery.
And no responsibilities, right? Because you'd just given everything up.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Amazing. And then, so you went west again.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you end up in Shasta then?
So, yeah, I mean, I could go to so many points of the story. I'll just say that it really ended up being where the entire time that I was just following the flow and the signs became clearer and clearer how I was getting led. Like I remember I met somebody that led me to a hot springs and I realized I got the information that anytime you hear the word hot springs, see hot springs, you go there. And that's going to be like that's kind of your signpost for the next spot. And so that kind of happened. And it was when I started going back west, I ended up going through South Dakota and the Black Hills, really powerful place of the Lakota.
Lovely.
Which is a big part of my spiritual path. Yeah. And so I was there for a few weeks and then up into back through Wyoming and Devil's Tower.
Wow.
You ever heard of Devil's Tower? Which I was just talking about that with
amazing. And then from there you went to
Montana.
Montana, okay.
Glacier Park, Montana.
Okay.
You been there?
I haven't been there yet, no. That's on the list. On the list. So much on the list, right?
The Going to the Sun Road in Glacier Park is...
I'll write all these recommendations down for sure later.
Yeah. So every place had a profound impact in and of itself. And each one of them could be a podcast story.
Amazing.
To be honest.
And Shasta then, how did you end up in Shasta?
So, well...
Because that's where you are now, right? That's where you live and where you do all your practices and where you
so
your adventures.
Yeah, exactly. So Mount Shasta first came into my consciousness back in 2000 on my way up from LA to a Native American Sundance, right? And this is in the book, The Call of the Mystical Mountain as well. And so I was called to Mount Shasta, right? I was called, but for whatever reason, again, it took me 19 years to get back there. And I think it was a frequency thing, a vibration thing. Spiritually, I wasn't ready. And then, as I said on this trip, I knew I was going to stop by there. I just didn't know when. So finally, after this entire journey, I ended up there. I think it was September 13th, 2019. And I ended up in the mountain. And from the moment that I got there, just magic started occurring.
Wow.
Like I got there, I wanted to hike as high as I could the first night. And I ended up, getting up to like 10,000 feet the first night. And I meet some guy, just comes out of nowhere. I don't know even where he's coming from. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey." He's like, "Hey, you heard of the Lemurians?" I'm like, "What?"
They're brilliant.
He's like, "Yeah, the Lemurians. They live in a fifth dimensional city in the mountain and they're here spreading love and joy for all of us. Can you feel it?" I'm like, "Yeah, so that was like the introduction to Mount Shasta.
So you know it's the place once you get there, sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Just amazing people there, amazing.
Yeah, I loved it when I went. It was super nice. So tell us about a bit of the work you do in Shasta then. Why don't you tell everyone what you do there and the company you work for?
Sure.
All the amazing adventures you take people on, which we were lucky enough to be part of that as well.
Well, that's a great segue. Yeah. So I work in Mount Shasta with a company called Shasta Vortex Adventures. And what we do is we guide vision quests and spiritual journeys on the mountain, which if you haven't heard of Mount Shasta, it's just got a lot of powerful energy points, a lot of sacred sites. And the nature is it's beyond. And so people come from all over the world and we take them on these spiritual journeys. And that's where I was blessed enough to meet Alex and his wonderful partner, Layla, who came on a journey. Actually, Layla came first, and we went on an amazing journey. But I did meet Alex.
I joined, afterwards.
And then we all went on
amazing.
one, and beautiful. Here I am in Mexico. So what we're doing is we're bringing the Shasta to the Playa,
the energy together, the vortex together. Exactly. It's amazing. Yeah. And what about? Why don't you tell us a bit about your book then, so everyone can understand that? Because I think it's a really cool concept where lots of different people have written this book about the call to the mountain, right?
Sure. And
explain to us also, people, when you say the call, a lot of people may not understand what the call is, right? So is it just an idea? Is it this conviction that suddenly comes into your mind where you have to do it and at some point, or how does the call work exactly?
Great question.
How would you explain that? Yeah.
Great question. Well, I think we talked about it a little bit when what we were discussing earlier, or maybe just around the fringes of it. But yeah, the book itself, The Call of the Mystical Mountain, there's 19 authors, and they're all amazing. I've met many of them. We had a big authors retreat when we were doing the book. And they've all had a call to the mountain. You're probably like, call to the mountain, what does that mean? Well, Well, if you're watching this channel right now and you've been to Palmaïa, or you're feeling like, I want to come to that place, that's the call, right? You're feeling the energy of Palmaïa. So Mount Shasta has this very interesting frequency to it. It's got a very singular vibration that calls people to it. And I think that's why, for me, for example, even though I was called in 2000, my vibration frequency wasn't ready to mix with it.
It wasn't your moment, right?
Right, exactly. And so the authors all talk about that call of needing to get to the mountain, something in them speaking, whether it was their guide speaking to them, whether it was their heart speaking to them, whatever it may have been, but they had to get there. And what's interesting about this, Alex, and you're probably finding this more and more in Palmaïa, because, like, you know, I've met people that have been here 14 times, 10 times, right? Is, you know, when I'm taking people up on the mountain, invariably, I would say, I can't even think of a time where, except when somebody brings somebody along and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm along, I don't really know. But typically everyone has had some kind of a call. And what's been happening more and more recently even is, let's say somebody comes in the office, they're like, you know, 6 months ago, I didn't know what Mount Shasta was. And all of a sudden, you know, I had a dream about it. Somebody called me, and then afterwards talked to me about it. Then I saw it on the internet, and I was, what's going on? And then I started doing all this spiritual work, and here I am. Amazing. And I feel like, because, and I think this is really important, the work that you're doing here, because I fully believe this in my heart, that all the energy that we're putting out doing this, right? The frequency that we're putting out there together, people are picking up on it. Yeah, absolutely. And so it's coming through. It's also coming through from the Lemurians, right? From our guides, from all these places, but us, the work we're doing, they're picking up on it. They don't even know why. It's like the cosmic, you know, it's the vibrational internet that's happening, right? So,
well, the more we vibrate with divinity through our expressions of actions and things, or singing or talking, whatever we're doing, right? Exactly. The more we put that frequency out there, as you said, the bigger the net becomes, and the more people are able to awaken and attune to it as well, no?
Exactly, exactly. And so I think the book is definitely about Mount Shasta, right? And the call of the mountain. But I think the bigger context of what the book was to me, and kind of where I took my story within the book, is going back to the hero's journey, the spiritual journey that we're all on, right? I mean, some of us are not awakened to that yet, but that's really why we're here on Earth, right? To grow in a spiritual manner. And so the mountain, Palmaïa, these are great backdrops of that in the world, but ultimately it's about the journey, and these places help us with that.
Yeah, and for me, the journey is like people coming here and hopefully learning something they can take out to the world and spread in their communities and wherever they are, right?
Exactly.
Mount Shasta is the same thing, right? You teach them something there, and hopefully they take it out to the world, and we spread the love, so to say, no? Amazing. And talking about all the things you do in Shasta, when you came here as a visiting guide now, you've been here for almost 2 months, which is amazing. Thank you so much, Dan.
I'm so grateful.
And why don't you give us a brief description of all the things you've been showing the people here at Palmaïa, or facilitating with them, which I think is cool to know, no? Because you've been doing so many different things. So I think it's nice to know a variety of let's call it your toolkit, right?
Sure. Well, it's interesting because when we talked about that before I came, right, and you were like, you know, put together the offerings, what you want to do, and originally, you know, I put together like long days, and you're like, that's not necessarily, you know, it's kind of like hour-long workshops here. So I'm like, okay. And then just trying to feel into, you know, not being here, right? What the clientele is like. And so, you know, I developed a few different things, some of which I use on the mountain, you know, do in the mountain, and some things that I do in like a personal, you know, so I'm a personal coach that I use in personal coaching. And just trying to figure into like, okay, what would align here? And so what I've been doing, it's interesting though, because the ones that I thought that maybe they might think are a little woo-woo-ish here, they've seemed to really love.
The crazier here there is, the more they love it, for sure, which is brilliant.
Well, I think into these things too, I mean, they have the vibration of the mountain. It's coming, and I think they feel that, even if they think I'm crazy. They might like, something he's doing is good. Exactly. I don't know about the guy.
And also, what I find is that there's a certain set of things that are being done everywhere around the world, you know, with all these like wellness spaces, no, and there's sound healings, there's Tibetan balls, there's this, there's that, right? So I think when you do things out of the box, it's always good because it's new teachings, but it's good because it gives someone, oh, I'll try that, I'll do something different, and maybe there's something different is the one that awakens them in the end, you know?
Right.
So that's definitely true. So you did the hero's journey. I did
the hero's journey where we were just, that was kind of interesting. I liked that a lot because I think that was different from maybe anything else that they've done, in the sense of, you know, we discussed the hero's journey. It was more like a half philosophy class, I would say, philosophy myth class. We discussed the hero's journey and all the stages of what the hero's journey are and how that relates to your own life. And that ended up really going on some interesting journeys itself because people start sharing, right? Because the hero's journey is very well known in film and storytelling and things like that, but it's not as well known in that it can really be used for people's lives to get through them, get them out of victimhood and anxiety and this and that. And when people start seeing that they're at a certain stage and how they can take an active role, or that they already have taken an active role, it can be really empowering. And the sharing that was going on within that was amazing. So we were doing the discussion, and then I would do the reading from the Call of the Mystical Mountain, which was fantastic. And that
I also got like good reviews from like the Violet Flame activation, which I also personally enjoyed as well. I think that was a popular one.
Yeah, I love the Violet Flame. You know, Saint Germain and the mountain and the Violet Flame, such a beautiful energy of healing, cleansing, and just transmuting. And I'd say that, you know, that one specifically is really bringing in a lot of energy from Mount Shasta, because the Violet Flame is so prevalent there. So that was wonderful.
And which is your favorite one to probably do?
You know, I would say it really differs, you know, because, you know, there was the archetypes, and I love working with the archetypes. And with that, I would take people on a journey to meet their archetypes, you know. Journey into the fifth dimension of meeting the magician within, meeting the warrior within, meeting the sovereign. And so I love going on this journey, because for me, every journey is different. It's how it presents itself.
And when you did them, as we got very different locations here, and each location has very different energy, did you feel doing the same thing in different locations had different effects and different feelings, or?
It's really interesting that you said that,
because the beach is so different from the jungle and everything, right?
I was so thinking about that this morning, because I remember Layla actually mentioned to me, because, you know, I've done the Violet Flame activation. Every time I've done it here has been in the mangrove.
Okay.
But then when I did with Layla and her family, we did it in Gypsy Tent.
Okay.
And, you know, I was kind of coming down with a little bit of an illness too. So that might have shifted the energy as well. But I felt like, that definitely in that case, that the energy of the venue shifted the energy a little bit. It was still beautiful. It was just kind of different what was happening.
And how did you're super connected in Shasta? Obviously, you've been there years, so you've got more time to connect with the land and the energy. While you've been here, it's been shorter, obviously, than the time you're in Shasta. But how does the energy for you differ, like here to there? No, because they're very different surroundings. But is it the same, like divine energy? Are there different guides that you feel here? How does it feel here compared to Shasta?
Yeah, very different.
Like, because of the Mayan heritage here as well, the things that we have are completely different to, like, you know, it couldn't be day and night almost, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some differing energies, but I would say that, I mean, they're both very powerful. And again, I don't feel totally unfamiliar with the energy down here, because I've been drawn to this area before. It's my third time down here, and I've been drawn. I feel a strong connection with the Mayan culture.
Yeah.
But I feel that it's kind of hard to describe. I would say there's a lot of love, a lot of beautiful love energy in Mount Shasta.
Yeah.
But the energy in general, it feels very higher dimensional, that you're bringing in and rooting in to this reality. So it's more like kind of a cosmic energy to me, although you do feel nurtured and loved within that cosmic energy, and then grounded here in the earth. Where here, I can really feel like pure heart energy of the land and the ancestors holding it. And so it feels very disarming.
Yeah.
In a beautiful way. You know, where you go and it's really easy to just sink into like this kind of calm joy.
Yeah. It's interesting here that we have the Yucatan has one of the largest underwater river cave systems in the world, or the largest, I think, even. And underneath all the cave systems from the whole of Yucatan, the rain falls on the Yucatan, and the rain gets pushed out to the oceans over thousands of millions of years. The water has created all these networks. And two of the largest like cave systems in the area, the water runs into the mangrove behind the hotel and then flows underneath the Aya statue and permeates into the ocean. So it's interesting that those three connectors are like exactly where the land is here, you know? We're on top of that sort of vortex of water energy going underneath it, which no one really sees, but I feel a lot of people feel without realizing. I don't know if it's anything to do with it, but for me, it's like, there's got to be something there, you know?
For sure. Well, that makes a lot of sense, because you can really feel the living waters underneath, and I think that's where it is. It's like that heart where you just feel like you're going back into the womb.
Yeah.
You know, and specifically right in the mangrove area.
Yeah, it's nice there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what you've built here is amazing, right?
Thanks, I appreciate
Everything
it.
is beautiful. And so rarely do I like to speak in terms of favorite, but the mangrove, that place is like.
Well, as I say, I didn't really do it. It's already there. It's nature. So we just built around it and respected the original beautiful aspects of nature and left them within it. And just what was there originally is so powerful and beautiful that it speaks for itself, right?
No, it's amazing there.
So amazing.
Yeah, so amazing.
And I think it's been amazing having you here, Dan. I'd really like to thank you for your time, for serving the community. It's been incredible. Is there anything you'd like to say to the audience? Maybe how to contact you exactly in Shasta? You mentioned the place you work for. We'll be putting the links in the cast when we do it. Also, we'll put a link to your book. Where can they buy your book?
It's on Amazon.
Okay, so perfect. So Call to the Mystical Mountain.
The Call of the Mystical Mountain and the Emerging New Earth.
On Amazon.com. And anywhere else, any independent booksellers, which would be cool?
It would be cool. You know what? I'm going to have to talk to them about that.
You have to get at least one, right?
Yeah, we've got to get that.
Do that
happening.
For me so I can put it on the link when we publish this.
I will talk to them about that.
Amazing. And thank you so much, Dan. And enjoy your last day. And we hope you come back to see us next year. And I'll see you in Shasta, hopefully, as well.
Oh, I'm so appreciative. And before I go, I just want to tell everybody out here, whether you're new to this channel, if you've been to Palmaïa, you haven't been here before, please do yourself a favor and listen to your heart and come, because the land, the people, I mean, everyone that I've met that works here, amazing in their heart. And you can tell what Alex has cultivated here with the symbiosis and the cooperation, and you can tell that everybody really believes in this vision. Because it's a beautiful vision and it's a bridge. And, we're in this time in the earth right now where, things definitely feel chaotic in a lot of ways. But there's these places emerging out of this chaos, and Palmaïa is one of them. It's a place that can literally change your life. And coming here will help you step into your heart, help you calm down, help you let go of stress. And I highly invite you to. Maybe I'll see you back here. I hope, that I come back, because it's a part of me.
Amazing, Dan.
It's a part of me. And you can find me at Shasta Vortex Adventures, shastavortex.com, or danhortoncoaching.com. What else can I tell you? We're hopefully back here at Palmaïa. And
Perfect. Palmaïa or Mount Shasta, Dan's there. Yeah. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.